All right, so you're prepping for a typesetter interview, huh? That's awesome. Let's dive deep into the world of typesetting with this deep dive
Yeah.
and get you totally ready to impress those interviewers. We've got a bunch of RoleCatcher resources ready to go, like career guides. We've got some sample interview questions and even AI insights to really help you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how typesetting has evolved. I mean, it's gone way beyond just arranging letters.
Yeah.
These days it's all about mastering those design software programs like InDesign and Quark Express
Right.
and having a deep understanding of typography and how to create visually engaging layouts. It's a whole art form.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into a question that you're almost guaranteed to be asked. What experience do you have with typesetting software and tools? Now, instead of just rattling off a list of every single program you've ever used,
Yeah.
how can you really showcase your expertise with this question?
You're right. It's not just about listing names. It's about highlighting that relevant experience.
Hmm.
You want to stand out. So let's say, for example, you worked on a multi-page brochure that had really intricate typography.
Okay.
That's definitely something to emphasize. Or let's say you tackled a book layout with those super complex formatting requirements.
Right.
These are the kind of examples that really demonstrate your practical skills. They show you can handle those demanding projects.
Oh, yeah, and I think it also shows you've got that attention to detail that's so important in typesetting, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what about online courses or certifications? Let's say you've taken some in specific software. Should you mention that?
Oh, for sure. You definitely should mention that. It shows initiative and a commitment to that professional development. It tells the interviewer, hey, I'm not just familiar with these tools, but I'm actually invested in mastering them. I want to learn more.
It shows you're serious about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I want to touch on something that's really cool that RoleCatcher offers. Their AI can actually analyze your answers and give you feedback that's tailored to specific job roles. Have you seen this feature in action?
Oh, it's incredible. The AI can pinpoint those areas where you can really strengthen your responses.
Oh, well.
It suggests relevant keywords, and it even helps you tailor your language to match the company's tone and style. It's really remarkable.
That's a fantastic resource to have,
Oh,
especially when you're trying to stand out from all the other candidates.
yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another super common question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach typesetting a document? Now, this one seems like it's about more than just your technical skills.
Right. You're absolutely right. It dives deeper into your process and your problem-solving abilities. The interviewer is trying to understand how you think, how you break down a project and make those informed design decisions. It's all connected.
So what are some of the key points we should hit when we're answering this question?
Well, think of it as a journey.
Yeah.
It's from that initial concept to the final creation.
Okay, start by mentioning how you would analyze the content, so you really grasp its purpose and target audience. Then talk about your approach to selecting the appropriate fonts and layout styles. And always remember to keep readability and visual appeal in mind. Those are crucial.
So it's about showing that you're not just, mechanically placing text on a page, but that you're thoughtfully crafting a cohesive design.
Exactly. It's about that big picture thinking. And this is where your understanding of typography really comes into play. You can briefly touch on concepts like kerning, which is that adjustment of space between individual letters,
Okay.
and leading, which refers to the spacing between lines of text.
It's like you're giving them a sneak peek into your design sensibilities and your incredible attention to detail. I love it. Now, I'm curious about the challenges that typesetters face. One of RoleCatcher's sample questions asks, what are some challenges you've faced while typesetting and how did you overcome them? What kind of story should someone tell here? Well, this is your chance to really showcase your problem-solving skills and how adaptable you can be. Choose a specific challenge, one that really highlights your ability to think on your feet and find those creative solutions.
Okay.
Maybe you had to reformat a massive document with a super tight deadline, or maybe you had to adapt a design for a unique printing process.
Oh, see.
These are the kind of challenges that demonstrate your ability to overcome obstacles.
Yeah, and remember, specifics are key here. Don't just say, I met the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Walk them through your process. How did you prioritize tasks?
Right.
How did you communicate with stakeholders? And ultimately, how did you deliver that high-quality product?
Exactly. Those details matter.
All right, so we've talked about showcasing your problem-solving skills, but don't be afraid to let a little bit of your personality shine through here, too. Were there any unexpected hurdles? Did you learn anything new during the process? These details really bring your story to life and make you memorable.
I agree. You want to be authentic.
Now, RoleCatcher's AI feedback, it can actually help you refine your answers to these behavioral questions. Is that right?
Yes. It analyzes your response, identifies areas for improvement, and even suggests alternative phrasing to make your answer more compelling. It's like having a personal coach.
That's incredibly helpful, especially for those of us who might overthink things or get nervous during
Oh,
interviews.
for sure.
All right, let's move on to a question that often trips people up. How do you prioritize your workload when you have multiple typesetting projects to complete?
Okay, so with this question, you want to show off your organizational skills and your ability to effectively manage all those demands.
So many demands.
The interviewer wants to see that you can stay calm when things get a little crazy and that you can meet those deadlines without sacrificing the quality of your work.
So how can we structure our answer to really showcase those qualities?
We'll start by outlining your general approach to prioritization. Do you use a to-do list? Do you rely on project management software? Or maybe it's a combination of methods.
Okay, so lay out that framework first.
Right. Then dive into a specific example. Talk about a time when you successfully juggled multiple projects, all with competing deadlines. Walk them through your thought process. How did you assess the urgency of each task? How did you allocate your time? And how did you keep everything on track?
It's almost like telling a little story, right?
It is. It's a story of your organizational prowess.
I love it. And this is also a fantastic opportunity to showcase your communication skills. Did you have to negotiate deadlines with clients? Did you collaborate with colleagues to make sure the workflow was smooth?
Yes, those are valuable skills to highlight because effective communication is crucial in any collaborative environment, and typesetting is no exception. Okay, now let's dive into a question that addresses a super important aspect of modern typesetting. How do you handle feedback or changes to a typeset document?
Why is this question so important in the context of typesetting?
Because typesetting is rarely a solo endeavor. You're often working with designers, editors, clients, and other stakeholders who might have input on the final product.
Right, it's a team effort.
Exactly. This question is all about assessing your ability to be flexible, to be receptive to feedback, and to maintain a positive attitude when revisions are requested.
So it's more than just accepting changes. It's about showcasing your professionalism and your collaboration skills.
Precisely. You want to emphasize that you view feedback as an opportunity for growth and that you're always open to learning from others. You can even share a specific instance where you received constructive criticism and used it to refine your work and make it even better.
Well, that's a great tip. Now, how can we really showcase those communication skills in this context?
It's all about highlighting your ability to clarify feedback, to ask thoughtful questions, and to make sure you fully understand the desired outcome before making any changes.
Okay.
It's about fostering that collaborative spirit and ensuring everyone's on the same page, working together towards that common goal.
And once again, RoleCatcher's AI can be super valuable here. Does it provide feedback on these types of behavioral questions as well?
Oh, it does. It can help you identify areas where your answer might be too vague or maybe even a little defensive and suggest alternative phrasing that conveys a more positive and collaborative approach.
It's like having a personal editor for your interview answers.
It is.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and address a topic that's become increasingly important in today's world. Accessibility. One of RoleCatcher's sample questions asks, how do you ensure that a typeset document is accessible and readable for all audiences?
Huh.
Why is this such a crucial consideration in modern typesetting?
Well, accessibility is no longer an option, it's essential. We need to create documents that can be accessed and understood by everyone, regardless of their abilities.
Right.
This includes people with visual impairments, hearing impairments, cognitive differences, and other disabilities.
It's about inclusivity.
It is. And the interviewer is looking for evidence that you're not just aware of accessibility guidelines, but that you actively incorporate them into your work.
You're putting it into practice.
Right. You want to highlight your familiarity with WCAG. Those are the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. And explain how you apply these principles to your typesetting process.
So, for example, you could mention choosing fonts that are easy to read, ensuring there's sufficient contrast between the text and the background colors, and providing those alternative text descriptions for images.
Those are all excellent examples. And if you've worked on projects that were specifically designed for accessibility, be sure to mention those as well.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It shows that you're not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk when it comes to accessibility.
Now let's talk about a specialized skill that can really set you apart from other candidates. Multilingual typesetting. RoleCatcher includes a question that asks, what experience do you have with multilingual typesetting? What makes this a unique challenge?
Well, multilingual typesetting goes beyond just translation. It requires an understanding of different writing systems, character sets, and typographic conventions. You need to make sure that the layout and formatting are appropriate for the target language, and that the text flows naturally within the design.
So if you have experience in this area, it's definitely worth highlighting. What are some key points to mention when answering this question?
Be specific about the languages you've worked with and the types of documents you've typeset.
Okay.
Have you created brochures in Spanish? Or marketing materials in Mandarin? Or maybe even technical manuals in Arabic?
So really showcase that range of experience.
Right. It shows your versatility.
Now, what if you've encountered some challenges related to multilingual typesetting? Should you address those as well?
Absolutely. Talk about how you overcame those challenges and what you learned from the experience.
Okay.
It demonstrates your adaptability, your resourcefulness, and your willingness to tackle complex projects.
You're a problem solver. And once again, RoleCatcher's AI can provide valuable feedback on your responses here.
Oh, yeah. It can help you identify areas where you can be more specific or provide more compelling examples to really make your answer shine.
It's like having a personal consultant for your interview prep. All right, let's move on to a question that focuses on a critical aspect of quality control. What experience do you have with pre-flighting and correcting errors in typeset documents? What exactly is pre-flighting and why is it so important?
Pre-flighting is basically that final quality check before a document goes to print or is published online.
Okay.
It involves carefully reviewing the file for any potential errors that could impact the final output.
So you're looking for anything that might cause problems down the line, like missing fonts or incorrect image resolutions.
Exactly. You're also checking for formatting inconsistencies, typographical errors, and even things like bleeds, margins, and color profiles to make sure everything is set up perfectly.
Many things to check.
I know, right? But catching these errors early can save a lot of time, money, and those stressful headaches down the road.
So how can you convince the interviewer that you're a pre-flighting pro?
Talk about the specific pre-flighting tools or software you're familiar with and describe your process for checking a document for errors. Do you have a checklist that you religiously follow? Do you use any automated tools to help you identify potential problems?
So showcase that system.
Exactly. You want to demonstrate that you're organized and thorough, and it's always a good idea to share a specific example.
Okay.
Talk about a time when you caught a significant error during pre-flighting and explain how you resolved the issue. It really showcases your attention to detail and your commitment to delivering high-quality work.
It shows you're proactive and that you care about the final product.
Right.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already.
So welcome back. Let's keep exploring these really insightful questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide.
Yeah, these are great. Okay, so question 9 asks, how do you stay up to date with the latest typesetting trends and technologies? This seems like it would be important for any design-related field, but what makes it especially crucial for typesetters?
Well, you're absolutely right. The world of design and publishing is always changing, you know?
Always evolving.
Yeah, always evolving. New software tools and techniques are constantly emerging.
Right.
And to really stay ahead of the curve and consistently deliver exceptional work, typesetters need to embrace that lifelong learning. It's so important.
So how can you show that you're not just keeping up, but
Yeah.
that you're genuinely passionate about sharpening your skills and staying current with the latest and greatest?
It's all about showing initiative and genuine interest, so mention any workshops, conferences, or online courses you've taken. Talk about how you actively seek out new information and experiment with different techniques.
Okay, so like you could talk about subscribing to design magazines or blogs to stay on top of industry trends.
Exactly. And if you're part of any online design communities or you follow industry experts on social media, those are also great things to mention.
Yeah, it shows you're engaged with the wider design community.
Yeah, you're part of the conversation.
So what if you've recently learned a new technique or started using a new software program? Should you bring that up in the interview?
Oh, absolutely. It shows that you're not just passively absorbing information, but you're actively applying it to your work.
Right.
And employers really value that initiative and drive to always be improving.
Okay, great tip. So let's move on to the final question in this set, which explores your ability to handle those more complex projects. The question is, what experience do you have with creating complex layouts and designs? What are some examples of complex layouts that would really impress an interviewer?
Well, think beyond those simple brochures or flyers. Have you designed multi-page magazines or those intricate book layouts? Have you worked on projects that involved a ton of text and images and complex formatting?
Yeah, those are projects that require a really high level of skill and attention to detail.
For sure.
What about interactive digital publications? Those are becoming increasingly popular.
Oh, that's an excellent point. Interactive publications really showcase your versatility and ability to adapt to different mediums.
Yeah.
And if you have any portfolio pieces that highlight your experience with these types of projects, be prepared to discuss them in detail during the interview. This is your chance to really shine and let your expertise speak for itself.
Yeah, let that work speak for itself. So we've talked about 10 key questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide, and it's clear that preparation is crucial. But what about the bigger picture? What kind of insights can you offer about building a successful career in typesetting?
The RoleCatcher Career Guide offers some really valuable insights into the typical career path for typesetters and the skills needed to progress. One of the key takeaways is the importance of continuous learning. As we discussed earlier, the industry is constantly changing, so staying ahead of the curve is essential.
It's not just about landing the job. It's about building a sustainable and fulfilling career.
Exactly. And that means actively seeking out opportunities to grow your skill set, expand your knowledge, and take on those new challenges.
Now let's talk a little bit more about how RoleCatcher's AI can help with all of this. We've touched on the AI feedback feature for practicing interview questions, but are there other ways it can assist candidates?
Absolutely. One of RoleCatcher's most powerful tools is its AI-powered resume builder. This feature analyzes job descriptions and suggests keywords and phrases that will make your resume stand out to both human recruiters and those AI screening tools.
That's incredibly helpful, especially in today's competitive job market where so many companies use AI to filter applications. It's like having a personal resume expert in your pocket.
Yeah, it's a game changer. And don't forget about the AI's ability to tailor your answers and feedback to specific job roles. It's not about giving you generic advice. It's about providing target insights that align with the specific requirements of the position you're applying for.
So you've got the knowledge from the career guide, the practice questions from the interview guide, and the AI-powered tools to refine your resume and interview skills. What a powerful combination.
It's everything you need. RoleCatcher really does provide everything you need to feel confident and prepared for your typesetter interview.
Now, beyond the technical skills and interview preparation, are there any other qualities or insights that can help someone succeed in this field?
One thing that often gets overlooked is passion. You know, the interviewer wants to see that you're not just proficient in typesetting, but that you're genuinely excited about it. Your enthusiasm for typography design and the power of visual communication can really make all the difference.
So even when you're discussing seemingly technical details like kerning or leading, try to convey how those choices impact the overall reading experience.
Exactly. It's about showing that you understand the subtle nuances that elevate a piece of text from merely readable to truly engaging and aesthetically pleasing.
And it goes beyond just talking about your skills and experience. It's about showcasing your personality, your passion, and your unique perspective.
You got it. And that's where preparation meets authenticity. You want to go into that interview feeling confident and prepared, but also ready to connect with the interviewer on a human level.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground in part 2. All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive on totally acing your typesetter interview. We've gone over so much already, from those essential technical skills to nailing those behavioral questions, and we've even had some awesome career insights.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about those finishing touches.
Yeah.
The things that can really make a lasting impression.
It's like we've got this beautifully typeset page, and now we're adding the final polish.
Yes.
It's about the subtle details that make the whole presentation shine.
Love it. Okay, so we've prepped using those awesome RoleCatcher guides we've practiced with their super cool AI. So what are some key things to keep in mind as we walk into that interview room?
Okay, so first and foremost, let your enthusiasm shine through. Interviewers, they really want to see that you're not just skilled in typesetting, but that you are genuinely passionate about it. It makes a difference.
So even when we're talking about those super technical details like kerning and leading, we should still be excited about them.
Oh, absolutely, because those choices, they really do matter. They affect the readability, the visual appeal, the overall impact of your design. It's about more than just the technical stuff.
It's about conveying that deep understanding that you have for those subtle nuances
Yeah.
that can take a piece of text and elevate it from just readable to truly engaging and aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly. And don't forget about confidence. Walk into that interview knowing your stuff inside and out. That preparation will give you a sense of calm and assurance that will really shine through.
It's like that old saying, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But in this case, the faking it comes from that solid preparation.
Right.
Knowing your material gives you that genuine confidence.
Yes. And remember, confidence isn't the same as arrogance. It's about being able to articulate your skills and your experience in a clear and thoughtful way. And don't be afraid to ask questions. It shows you're engaged and curious.
And speaking of questions, make sure you've done your research on the company and the specific role you're interviewing for. Having a few thoughtful questions prepared really demonstrates that you're genuinely interested in them and what they do.
It shows that you're not just looking for any job, but that you're specifically interested in this company and their team and how you can contribute to their overall mission. It's about finding the right fit.
I want to bring up something that people don't always think about, the potential downsides of a career. RoleCatcher's Career Guide mentions things like repetitive tasks, those long hours, and even the possibility of eye strain as potential challenges for typesetters. Should we bring these up in the interview?
That's a great question, and it requires a bit of judgment. If the interviewer emphasizes that the work is fast-paced or mentions tight deadlines, you could acknowledge those challenges while showing that you can handle them proactively.
Okay, so something like, I understand that this role can be pretty demanding, especially when those deadlines are approaching, but I'm a highly organized and efficient worker who prioritizes delivering quality work while maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
That's a perfect approach. You're acknowledging the reality of the work while highlighting your ability to manage your time effectively and stay positive.
And it really ties back to those career stages that we talked about earlier. RoleCatcher's Career Guide gives us some great insight into how those responsibilities and expectations change as you advance in your career.
Exactly. So you can tailor your answers based on the level you're interviewing for. If it's a senior role, you might even ask about the company's overall approach to workload management and employee well-being. It shows that you're thinking long-term and considering that bigger picture.
All right, so for a final thought for our listeners, what's one way that someone can really showcase their passion for typography and visual design that goes beyond just listing software skills on their resume?
Think about those personal projects, volunteer work, or even hobbies that show off your attention to detail and your love for the craft.
So maybe you've designed your own font, or you've hand-lettered some beautiful invitations, or maybe you have an impressive collection of vintage typography books.
Those are all fantastic examples. These details can spark conversations and help you connect with the interviewer on a more personal level. Remember, you're not just a resume, you're a person with a unique story and a passion for this field. Let that shine through.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's all about bringing your whole self to that interview. You've got the knowledge, you've got those skills, you put in the time to prepare. Now let your personality and your passion shine through. And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way. From their comprehensive guides to their super cool AI-powered tools, they've got everything you need to feel confident and ready to rock that interview.
Yes, they do.
So go out there and ace that interview.
Yeah.
That future of beautifully typeset words just might be in your hand.
Best of luck. We're rooting for you.